Hi, welcome back. So in last class, we started for DevOps tools training, right? So in this class, we are going to discuss about what is DevOps, why we need DevOps, what is CI/CD, what are the tools, how to design on our own the tools wise, because so many people are often getting confused. Each and every project, they are really getting different tools. So we will take some 2-3 projects and discuss in a high level. Slowly we will go one by one. Okay, why we need DevOps? Okay, before going to that level, we need to understand how the software now and earlier, right? Whenever I want to create any software, right, so it is really a slow and lot of dependencies, but nowadays it's very fast. So the software creation and delivery is very fast. Even the bug fixing is very fast. And the major advantage is even any startup, small company also can achieve bigger way, because everything as a cloud, what we use, what we need to pay. And also with predefined tools are available in the market to use this facility. Okay, and getting the software in hands. So I created some good mechanism to reach across the globe also. Now it's really easy task. So this is a major reason nowadays DevOps is really picking up. And what tools do you need to move fast? That is a major planning we need to analyze before we go and confirm it, right? Releasing the software, first of all, what release and what are the future you are going to introduce, or some future along with some existing bug fixing. So you need to define, right? And what is the software you are going to give it to the end user, and what are the tools you need to manage right from the development to deployment and post deployment, how you are going to manage the platform. So these are all called tools, right? And before going to the deployment or before going to the actual delivery, right, what kind of a test you are going to conduct, and what kind of a audit you are going to review the code which you created, I mean the developer created, right? And what are the tools you are going to utilize to deploy your application? Because here we are started talking about all tools. Tools means you are about to do task one, right? To do this task one, I am not expecting manual way, because we are talking about DevOps. So what is the equivalent tool to do this task one? You also need to do task two. So you need to find out what is the equivalent tool to do this task two. So from the development, from the code developer to development, okay, to production, go live, right? So till this stage, you may need say 50 to 60 tasks. Like, so those tasks, how you are going to manage each task, what are the tools you are going to map it? I mean, the tool, using the tool, you are going to manage the same task to deliver the same multiple task, right? So we'll discuss one by one. And before going to that stage, we will talk about little bit software release process, how that software release process is working. So first you need to create the code, develop the code. The developer has to create the code, and the code review has to be done, right? So once the code is reviewed, then it has to build using the build tool, and has to perform the testing. And once the testing is done without any issues, then it has to redirect it to the further functional testing or UI testing. So this will be segregate with all your features, individual test, and there is a security test also, and penetration test also. And if you list down most of the features, right, the feature wise also you have to make sure the proper testing is completed and certified. After all this approval, okay, satisfaction, then move on to production. But before directly going to the production, there will be a staging where some dummy customer, some dummy test data, or some test users will be there, officially appointed test users who can access the application version, so say beta version, to explore all the defined functionalities to make sure there is no gap as per the delivery expectation. Then we have to move it to the prod. So this is the software release in high level. So this process, each project, there will be a dev environment. You need to follow all these steps. Okay. And then SIT and UAT and pre-prod, prod. Some of the project, this will differ according to their business, according to, but before production, there will be a lot of environment. The reason is, if I say I'm deploying something in production, that is aggressively tested, performed all these environments, so that I can very well say that the deploying version in production is going to be more stable. Of course, there will be some bug in randomly in production also, but we need to have a clear-cut process. If there is an issue in production, what is your mitigation, right? And the release process levels. So I am the developer. I am creating a code, okay, and I am keep on putting into my SCM repositories. We'll discuss in detail later. So once I committed, there will be a build. As soon as the build is completed, there will be a var with the specific version. Or enterprise means enterprise archive. If it is a .NET, so I'm here going to talk about with Java application point of view. You can just match it with .NET application or different development applications, because we need some idea how and what is happening. And continuous delivery. So here there is a code developed. During the testing, it is failed because there is an error. Again, it is going to the developer. He is getting the bug and he fixed and he committed to the GitHub or GitLab. So whatever SCM you are using. So the moment he checked out, again the build is getting started. Automatically, this also will have a new version, right? So this new version will be deployed in test environment to do the multiple level of testing. So once I got certified from this test, automatically the continuous deployment production will start plan for this permanent go live, right? So this is an ongoing process which we started monitoring parallelly. Previously, still we all remember previously the deployment cycle is, I will get one version, right? Or my expectation, say after 3 months, this quarter we are going to release feature 1, feature 2, feature 3, right? So the whole quarter they will develop, hand over, and the further team, they will continue their task testing, they will hand over like this. So end of the quarter, they will announce one go live date and they deploy. But right now, we started slowly going towards agile. Say, for example, this feature 1, feature 2, feature 3. Now, as a technical person or as a business or as a project manager along with the business has to decide what is the priority. Feature 1 is a priority, or feature 2 is a priority, or feature 3 is a priority. Plus there are a couple of bugs, okay, which they found in the previous releases. They all those bugs also has to be prioritized, right? Say for example, feature 1 and bug 2 has to be go live as soon as possible. In DevOps, that is possible because DevOps never wait. All functionality has to be ready, then only each step has to be followed. No, that concept DevOps will not tolerate. DevOps simple. You need to categorize what you want and then push it. Everything will start immediately. So let me go to the next slide. So as I said previously, there is a code developer has to develop. I have to wait. Then the build from the developed code, I have to wait. Again, I need to ask the deployment team to deploy it. I need to wait to get the actual results. Then we need to, all team has to be sit together and coordinate what went wrong, and again has to fix. So there is a lot of wait here. Then only the production will be possible, deployment will be possible. But most of the time, previous shift, this also one of the nightmare, right? So now in DevOps, these are all will be very fast because we are straight away removing a lot of manual dependencies, right? So this is a simple diagram which we explain now. So previously, it is going to be a days, sometimes it's even weeks also, which is really not possible nowadays from the business expectation point of view, right? So let's go here. So we built tools to avoid such long process, to simplify our deliverables in a more controlled manner, more process oriented, more secure method, right? So we create a pipeline. So the pipeline is, say for example, I have one application. This application from the business already they defined. Every 15 days, I need to give 2 deployments, right? So you accordingly, you need to create a pipeline. So what kind of application? It's a Java application, right? So it's a DB, business logic also is there. So you need Java source code, right? So you need to check into some SCM. Say, for example, everyone were GitHub. So we will go with GitHub. So the developer is checking into SCM. So the moment is checked, there should be someone have to monitor this repository. Hey, there is a code changes. So start, build, and prepare your application. Who will do that? So if you create a pipeline, there is a CI. Okay, CI tool. Okay, Jenkins, TeamCity. There are a lot of tools. We will discuss it later, right, in detailed manner. So this CI tool will already we have to configure what is the source code repository. If the any changes in that particular repository, start build. What to build, you need to tell. Okay, and after build, what need to do, you need to tell. So everything in the pipeline. Previously, how project manager, hey developer, you developed the application, okay, give me that, where you stored your code. So they will have some folder where they stored the code. Then in the project meeting call itself, they the project manager will ask, can you the deployment people, can you start deploy the application? Previously WebLogic admin, WebSphere admin. So these are all, you know, what have to do till the deployment, right? So all the task now you put it in a piece of notepad, right? Task 1, what I need to develop the application, I'm the developer. Task 2 is what, I'm the tester, I need to walk through the code. Okay, task 3 is what, the tested code has to again go for multiple testing. Okay, after that, again the deployment team have to take the code and deploy the code. This is how previously it was working. Now let's go inside continuous delivery. The moment the developer is checked the code, okay, and the testing is passed, automatically the developer will be happy. Why? Because he passed, the application got created. Going to the delivery or going to the deployment, it's up to the business, right? So now where I need to start, right? So I need to start the pipeline first, because in the pipeline you need to define task 1, where to take the code. Task 2, after take the code, what I need to do, using Maven to build or Ant to build or Gradle to build. And task 3, after build, I'm getting the .var file or .er file. It depends on the application, depends on the IDE tool, Java or .NET. So after this, what I need to do, I need to start the testing, right? After this, what I need to do, okay, I need to deploy, right? So after deployed, okay, there is a bug, so there is a change of code, what I need to do. And after the change of the code, I have committed what I need to do. So these are all you need to define in the step by step. This is called the pipeline, right? So the pipeline is what we did manually all these years. You have to first define in the simple notepad or some documentation, whatever you use. But those tasks has to be clearly mentioned in the pipeline. Okay, we will have a full hands-on in this, so you won't get more confusion. And the software release, so source code, and the moment I am the developer, I upload it, so the build will start and then test will start, and then the before here there will be a small portion, there will be a people who nominated, they used to test. After this you will have a proper production deployment schedule, right? And so for this I need to have a code commit, and what else, and build is started, what else, the test is started, and then production deployment also has start, okay? And code, so these are all you need to mention in the pipeline, right? We will create a manual way of pipeline, we will create an automatic way of pipeline in our hands-on further classes, right? So plan, this is what I just explained. Planning, you need to first list down, as part of this application, as part of this application deployment, as part of this application go live, what all I need to do. So first question, where is the source code? The developer is updated or uploaded, right? So then from the code, take the code, build it. And once you build, test it. It is not success, fail. Again, change the code, build it, test it, failing. Again, take the code, fix it, build it, test it. So once it's success, then you start deploy into various staging environments and test it. Finally, you go for production deployment. Okay, the once the deployment happen in production, then start utilize from the end user point of view. Of course, there is a monitoring, there is a collaboration tool, there is a several support point of view we will discuss one by one. So these are all have to make sure as part of this pipeline. For all this has to first list down in the plan phase itself. This is a very crucial part. Okay, so now go here. How to build the software? So you have an IDE. There are a lot of tool which you can develop your software coding, right? And what is CA? You have to develop. The moment you develop or you change something, automatically the CA has to keep monitor what you are doing. Previously, project manager used to monitor or all the nominated teams will have a single point contact for all the updates to project manager. So project manager will create a detailed dashboard to make sure once the team 1 or team X finished, he knows next after this task, next who has to do what. This clarity will be with project manager. So here the CA tool is more advanced, but more or less same project manager what is doing, right? So he has to keep monitor. If there is any change, start it immediately, prepare it and keep it. So the according to the release, you take this version and deploy it, right? But I never wait. I cannot wait because I am automation, right? I am seeing there is a change. Okay, I'm seeing there is a different version. Okay, it got committed, so start it. Then what is not? Okay, so you need to give an approval. There is a lot of way to make sure without any proper work process workflow approval, it should not deploy it in the production. Otherwise everything will be a vain, right? Someone will change the code, automatically it will go to the production. No, there will be a approval mechanism, right? And developer branches, right? So in to avoid such a conflict, normally there will be a different SCM branches. It's really advisable. And scheduled integration points, this is also one of the major point. And building via IDEs, of course you need to build via IDE, and you need to first test in the sandbox before you start all this planning. Test in the sandbox, which normally comes with IDE integrated specific deployment application. And continuous compilation not equal to continuous integration, right? So basically this CA will trigger immediately if there is any change, right? So if I see a change, I am a CI, right? So continuous integration. So if I see any changes, automatically start. So start build. Build means I'm taking the source code, start compile it. Okay. So both are different process, but it has to work together. Otherwise, there is no point, because here we are talking about end-to-end deployment, end-to-end delivery, right? So why we need to make sure all this in correct process and correct verification, right? So the reason is fixing the software or developing the software, it's a really risky, right? First risk is fixing a bug. Okay, as soon as there is a bug, immediately you need to fix it and put it in the update immediately, right? Previously it was not. This cost huge, right? And most of the time people has to collect the requirement and define all the tasks which required, then go for the implementation. But here there is a huge dependencies. Okay, because here we are not talking about the minor version, also immediately has to go and commit, right? So to avoid all this, only it has to go with this DevOps pipeline and with proper workflow. And lack of team, this is the major headache so many years for any application deliverable. And the risk 3 is code base, because we don't have any reusable based code. The developer will create a code, right? So most of the time we have to go with manual way of walkthrough, manual way of review. These are all, now you create one test, and that test you can revisit multiple times. Maybe you have to change a little bit, but not entire one, because you are already create a workflow. For that new feature only you are adding, or existing feature you are fixing the bug. So to test the same code or to test the new code, you need to have one-time effort. After that, very minimal effort. So you can reuse the same test scripts or test use cases to proceed with. Okay. And lack of project visibility. Okay. So if the test is failed, okay, and what I have to do, what project I have to do. So this is a more concrete process document is missing in the most of the environment, right? So in the most of the environment, okay, in this one version itself, it's having the, so in the test or failing. Why? Because the test once failed, automatically you have to start and verify, send it to the necessary bug to the developer to fix it. Okay, but previously it was not. So these are all one of the challenge which we are slowly resolving on day-to-day basis via DevOps continuous improvements and deployable software. Okay, the another major challenge is I developed some application. Okay, it is working in my environment, but the same customer is purchased the same application, and the same application, it is not working well in their environment. So these are all really major business showstoppers previously. But now we are started about talking about DevOps in microservices deliverable, DevOps in legacy deliverable. So most of the time this will be addressed, because when you say your application is going to define or deploy in multiple environments, user base, then definitely it has to be the not base platform dependency, should not have. So you need to design with microservices in such a way that there won't be any single base OS dependencies. I mean the containers. So using continuous integration to reduce the risk. How we can reduce the risk? I have the code I developed. Again, I'm reiterate. I'm checking into my SCM, which is a GitHub or Bitbucket, so or VSDS. So this is my SCM. I checked in the code, okay, and the moment I check the code, you already configured this repository in CI, okay, TeamCity or Travis or Circle CI. So the moment I found there is change, immediately take it and build it, create application, say app. Once the application is created, after the compilation build, deploy into the web application server. The web application server automatically pick up the developed application, and from there you start monitor it, whether through collaboration tool or a specific monitoring tool. So this process is a one application version changes or new release, right? What if the released version, say last week you released, there is a small bug. So the moment they found a bug, automatically the bug will be raised to the developer. So the developer will download the latest code according to that version. Okay, in that code he will fix it, again check in the SCM tool, right? So the moment I found the changes, I am the CA, right? Again will start all the process, but in the CD, continuous delivery and deployment, I will have the deployment environment approval and schedule, and production deployment approval and schedule. According to that, immediately this will be go to the actual production application. I no need to wait for 2-3 future release together, right? So these are all one of the flexibility. Now we started feeling via DevOps, right? better. We would say it's a better and faster and cheaper, because it is mainly removed the control dependencies, and also it is, whenever there is a change, immediately it is started all the process, because the process may change n+1 or n-1. So you can very well utilize the existing scripts to validate this changes. I mean the testing scripts, right? And build, this will help you to build quality software. This will help you to test very early. I found the bug, immediately put it into the raise the ticket. So the developer is fixing, and the moment he fix, he will commit. The moment he is commit, automatically the CA will start, right? So this is the way we this is the ongoing improvement, right? So I would say it's better. And next one is faster. So whatever we explained last few minutes, whenever there is a change, please understand, whenever there is a change or whenever there is a bug, immediately the developer will fix and commit. This will be a very fast, and it is a very cheap, because as I said, the dependency, it's not a manual dependency. Of course, manual dependency previously, this manual dependency will cost in millions, because the resource cost and the delay cost, everything has to pay from the business packet, right? So these are all will clear out in a very straightforward manner, which help business to save so much cost. And what continually you need to build, right? So you need to keep compile, because there is a change, right? So during the build, you are creating a version 2, version 3, version 4, right? But which version has to deploy actual production after all testing, after all approval, there is a, again you need to define. And first compilation and test execution and database. Most of the production application, definitely you need to have the business logic. So if there is a business logic, then definitely you need to think about the database, and you need to integrate the database also, because you are processing something. Whatever you are processing, you are also keep updating to the DB, right? Code walkthrough. These are all nowadays, it's a complete infrastructure as a code, reusable code. You define one time, test multiple times, right? Even the automated deployment, right? Chef, Ansible, these are all very good tools in the market to deploy automated way. And documentation generation, for this also there is a lot of tools in the market. What we are going to do is, after another class, couple of classes, we are going to select, say for example, SCM one tool, right? And monitoring one tool, okay? And there is a deployment one tool, deployment, and there is a code walkthrough one tool. So we will select project 1, all this tool, project 2, different set of tools for this purpose, project 3, different set of tools, and we will discuss with those tools what exactly I need to do. This is also one of the major challenge which people are facing during the interview. They are not able to project. They know what to do, how to implement, how to configure, but they don't know how to correlate the same with the logic. These are all we will see it in the next class. Okay, now what we can do is we will go further and compilation. So this will make sure your code is actually compiled. It's working with all dependencies, and whatever you created the code, it's working correctly. And test, always regression testing will make you confident on your deliverable. And DB integration, if you have more complex application, then definitely the DB and code has to be always intact. And code inspection, this is one of the major point. Even there is a security also have to walk through this. So you need to make sure the testing team has to create a separate test cases for this. Whenever there is a change, they have to go through from the scratch to test everything. Of course, you are doing the reusable code only, but to avoid later surprise, it is going to be very crucial. And the automated deployment. See, I have one application created, but there is a frequent changes, frequent commit, frequent bug fixing, frequent new release feature, right? So I need some tool whenever there is a new change, whenever there is a error build, whenever there is a approved deployment, then we need some tools, right? So automated deployment, there is a lot of tools available in the market, okay, which do this job. And the another one is documentation. Okay, for this also previously you do all, okay, right from the development to error fixing to and compilation to build to deployment, right? So whatever you created, you also need to create a documentation. This is one of the major pain point, because if the documentation is not proper, okay, the first thing what developer will struggle is there is a bug. Okay, he used to get a lot of bugs, but whenever there is a bug, he also need to get some insight. Okay, what kind of a code, what kind of a version, what kind of a platform, what kind of a base version, these are all he has to get it correct. So even if you if developer received all this information, he also need to have some environment specific documentation, right? So this also complete possibility of automating via DevOps, right? Come down. So we will start. When do I build? So whenever I fix and commit, if I say I'm doing something, I'm a developer, I committed, start the build. Every time there is a dependency changes, start the build and do it continuously. This is what CID, continuous integration, continuous deployments, continuous delivery, right? Dedicated CI servers, right? For this only, now we are talking about TeamCity, Circle CI, Jenkins. The reason why I always prefer to advise go with Jenkins is the open source. You can create the environment on your own laptop. You fail multiple times. You will learn what is happening around this CA. Once you got the confidence on Jenkins, I'm sure you can manage many tools, because if you go to any project 1, they may use different CA tool. Project 2, they may use different CA tool, but the logic is the same. Don't worry about that. So do it continuously and pay attention. So whenever there is a change, whenever there is a build is started, whenever there is a alert coming through collaboration tools, you need to keep watch eye on all those output artifacts. Okay, and metrics. This is ongoing practice. Okay, through the metrics only you can improve your product. Okay, you can reduce your number of issues. Okay, so you got some idea. Now in the next class we will discuss about the 7-step program on this DevOps. After this 7-step program, we will also explore what is Jenkins, why we need Jenkins. After this, we will take one complete flow, okay, with say for example SCM1 tool, source code to the testing one tool, from testing to build and deployment one tool. After deployment, where you deploy, whether you are going to do all this in cloud, then what is the cloud? If you are going to do this in on-premise, then what kind of on-premise? During all this, everyone, the designated team has to get the alerts. Then what is the tool? Designated team has to keep monitor. So what is the monitoring tool? Designated team has to do all security check. Then what is the tool? So we will think project one. This is the workflow. Okay, some sample workflow. We will decide, and with that, how things are working, what you need to implement. Okay, if we discuss this, then definitely, if you go any project or any interview, you will not face any humiliation. Stay tuned. We will come up with more hands-on session. Thanks for everyone.